Yeah.
Alright lads, another video of me sitting in my car talking. So before I get started, I just want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. If you are watching and not already subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you would. Today we're going to be talking about modifications. So you've already bought your Focus RS MK2 thanks to the fantastic advice that you got in my last video. Congratulations. And now you want to modify it. So there are so many mods for this car. There are so many mods for the Mark III, there are so many mods for the Mark I. It's a very easy car to modify, and it is extremely easy to get parts for. The inlet plenum on the Focus RS MK2 is plastic. So one of the first mods that people do is change it to an upgraded cast or like sort of metal one. There's a load out there. You can get cheap, crappy ones. So everything I'm going to talk about modification wise in this video is going to be branded and it is going to be good stuff. So if you do buy a car like this and then you go and buy an exhaust off eBay, if you go and buy an exhaust off eBay for 100 quid, I'm not saying you're a bad person, but you'll probably take the minus offer on the chase. That's all I'm saying. So like I say, there's a load of companies out there who make parts for this car. One of the most popular companies for modifications is Mountune. I'm sure you've all heard of Mountune. So you can get a Mountune inlet plenum for around 550 quid. However, they have been out of stock for the last 6 months. So good luck trying to find one, and you will not find one second hand. You can get a Cytec one, which is what I've got on here, for about 450. You can get an ES Performance one for about 350, and you can get an AirTech one for around 400 quid. So they're all, you know, really good. The one I've got on the Cytec is rated apparently up to 1,000 horsepower. Why you would want 1,000 horsepower in a front wheel drive car, I have no idea. But if you do, you can get one and you can run your 1,000 horsepower. I know there is one out there. It's got 1,001 horsepower, which is just mental. But yeah, so that's something you do want to consider, because the plastic plenum is prone to crack and split and explode and kill your car. So you don't want that. I think it's alright if you're running standard power, but any sort of mods, I would definitely start with that, or definitely have that on your list. The next thing that is a popular mod for any car really is an exhaust. So on this, most people go for a catback. I've got a Thunderstorm exhaust catback. I cannot remember how much these are, so I do apologise. You can get a Mongoose catback for about 500 quid. You can get a Cobra catback for about 500 quid. A Scorpion's going to set you back about 600 quid. A Miltech's going to set you back about 700 quid. And a Mountune is going to set you about 800 quid. So these are all catback. These are all rough prices. They're definitely in the ballpark. They might not be absolutely nailed on. So I think the Mountune one might be about 760, 770. So I'm just saying 800 quid is kind of a ballpark figure. So don't quote us on any of the prices. If you do want links to any of the parts, give us a shout and I'll be able to give you links to all of the parts that we're talking about today. To go with your nice shouty exhaust, you're going to want a nice shouty air filter as well. So mine has got a K&N. Probably can't hear it in the video. Oh, pop pop, but it sounds really good. Pop pop. You can get a K&N for anywhere between 200 and 350 quid, depending on which one you go for. So they've got different generations. Mine's a Gen 1. I think you can pick a Gen 1 up for about 200 quid brand new, and that comes with the filter and the box, because the air filter box is different on the K&N as opposed to the standard one. You can get a forged one for about 250, and you can get an AirTech one for about 300 quid. So you're going to be looking anywhere sort of between 200 and 400 quid, depending on what it is you want. You can spend anywhere up to 1,000 quid on a decent induction kit, but again, it depends on what sort of money you want to spend and what you want. You can get one, again, you can get one on eBay for 15, 20 quid, but please don't do that. No, you're not a good person if you do that. Not a good person at all. If you're looking to upgrade your intercooler, again, many options out there. You can get hundreds and hundreds of different intercoolers. But just buy an AirTech, 500 quid, job done. Let's move on. I spoke in a previous video about the suspension. So I've got coilovers on my car. I like coilovers. I like the fact that they're adjustable. You can set it to a height and a ride quality that you're comfortable with. Whereas if you just buy in springs, that's it. That's what you get, and that's the end of it. So coilovers, again, massive variance in prices. You can get cheap sets now. I have actually heard people who have used cheap sets of coilovers on these, and apparently they're not too bad. But again, if you've got a 1.2 Corsa or a Clio, stick some EVA coilovers on. Still makes it look nice, and performance wise doesn't really matter. But on a car like this, don't cheap out, buy something decent. You can get some Bilsteins or some APs for about 700 quid for a set of coilovers. You can get some gas golds or some H&Rs for about £1,000. Again, budget dependent. There's so many options out there, from, you know, a decent set from about 400 or 500 quid up to a couple of grand. It just depends what you want. But, you know, don't cheap out on your suspension, because it's going to have a massive impact on the way the car drives. So your air filter, your suspension, things like that, it's going to affect your performance, it's going to affect how your car sounds. But your suspension's going to massively impact on how your car drives. And you want this car to be drivable. You want it to be fun to drive. Oh, there's that bumpy road again. So you want the car to be drivable. So don't cheap out on your suspension. So they're kind of the major things that everyone seems to do. You've then got the bigger stuff. So if you want to upgrade your brakes, I know a really popular choice are EAPs. So I do have the standard Brembos on this, and they're absolutely fine. If you are wanting to upgrade your brakes, I know EAPs are a really good route to go down. But again, there's loads of options out there. Your EAPs are going to set you about 1,500 quid for the front. It's a lot of money, it's a big investment, but depending on what you're doing with the car, so if you're taking it on the track, 1,500 quid for a set of brakes is going to change the way your car drives. It's a lot of money, but it's a good mod. It's something that I'll probably do in the future, will be upgrade the brakes. I think it is definitely something to consider. You've then got your other stuff, tyres. So I spoke about tyres last time in the last video. I think tyres for me are a biggie. Just that noise, and I say it in every video, but that noise is just phenomenal. Tyres, Michelin Pilot Sport 4s is definitely the way to go for me. You're going to be looking at about $650 for a set. They're not cheap, but they're not ridiculously expensive. I don't think 150 quid a corner is that bad. In that sort of price range, you're also going to be able to get your Pirelli P-Zeros, stuff like that. I think tyres are a bit of a personal preference. Uniroyal Rain Sports, fantastic, especially if you live in the UK, because it's always raining. Rain Sports are a really good tyre. And they are a lot cheaper, so you'd probably get a set of those for about 400 quid. It just depends, have a shop about. Like I say, none of the prices in this video are 100% correct, but they're all sort of in the right ballpark. So have a look about, definitely shop about, never just buy the first one you see, which is just common sense really. I don't want to tell you that. And then you've got all of your cosmetic stuff, I suppose. Wheels. A lot of people change the wheels. I've got the standard wheels on because I really like the look of the standard wheels. So I'm still debating on what colour to get them reconned. I know I mentioned that in a previous video. Got a really good suggestion from Adam. If you don't follow Adam, if you've not subscribed to Adam's channel, go over and subscribe. I'll stick a link in the description. He's got a 3-door Cosy, and it is an absolute peach. And his videos are quality. He's got good crack, so definitely go and subscribe to Adam. So he suggested like a dark gold, which I never considered, but now that I've thought about it, I've had a little play about with Photoshop, and I think that could be a strong contender. If you're upgrading your wheels, there's a few wheels that people generally go for. I think the most popular one that I see is the Bowler B1s. Lovely wheel. It's like a 5-spoke concaved. I think that's the right word. but you know, Oz Superleggeras, things like that. I've seen some lovely wheels, 1552s. I think 1552s look amazing on this, because as far as I'm aware, 1552s they were originally made as like a rally wheel. So on this they look amazing. And then you've got the Oz rally wheels. I always forget the name of them. You know which ones I mean? Flat face, Oz racing all the way around. Look absolutely boss. But wheels are definitely, I know I always say things are personal preference, everyone's different. Wheels are absolutely personal preference. The wheel design, the style, the colour, the size, standard 19s. A lot of people will go for, when they put the bowlers on, they'll go for an 18 because they see the car drives better, but I think it looks better with a 19. But again, it's personal preference. So you're going to pay a few quid for a set of wheels, but it's regardless of the car, whatever wheels you buy, you're going to pay the same price whichever car you buy them for. If you're buying the same size and the same style wheel, that was going to be the same price. I do love the Bowler Bay ones. I like the B10s, I think it is as well. They're a nice wheel, but I don't know, I think I'll probably stick with the standard wheels because I think it looks nice on the car and it suits the look of the car. My bonnet vents, I don't know if you've noticed, my bonnet vents are black. You probably haven't noticed because I don't even think I've done an exterior video of the car. I've chucked some photos in though. Here's another photo for you. Have a look at this. My bonnet vents are black. They come colour coded as standard. I think personally, I just think they look better in black, and it matches the black on the grille and the wing mirrors and the spoiler, and the rear diffuser and that. I did consider getting the roof done. I'm still on the fence whether I want the roof done black or not. But cosmetically, there's not really a massive amount you can do. You can get the splitter kits. Talked about the splitter kits previously. There's something I want but I can't get because of the speed bumps at work. But cosmetically, there's not really a massive amount you can do because, let's be honest, it looks absolutely mint anyway. Absolutely mint, lads. So that's going to about wrap it up for today. I'm just driving home from work and I just thought I'd make a little video because it's you know, stuff I've been thinking about. Somebody had asked previously about what mods I've got, so I think I've kind of covered that. Talked about the yeah, I think I've covered off what mods I've got. But yeah, I hope you found this video useful. Like, and if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel to get more content out. Kind of got a load of new followers lately, so I really appreciate that. So thanks to everyone who has subscribed. Like the video, give us a thumbs up. It does genuinely help out. I know everyone says that, but giving it a thumbs up really does help the video. If you've got any questions, any comments, bang them down in the box below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.